Let's start the song. You know? What do you think?
Sure.
Just okay. Oh, there might be a bit of foot tapping. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a sound that we were, it was a sound from necessity, you know. It was just Grant and I and like a variety of drummers, you know, for the first 2 years. And so it was just, I guess, a sort of like nakedness, do you know what I mean? It was a sound that was primitive, and but it wasn't in some sort of you know, like a Melbourne dungeon or a London dungeon. You know, I mean, you can't make that here. Do you know what I mean? It's so you couldn't go for that enclosed dark thing. You just had to basically, you know, embrace what was here. And so, you know, like, you know, when you talk about, you know, the striped sunlight sound, it was just that primitive sound in Brisbane. So, you know, like and all the elements, you know, just had to come in.
I think right from the start, that simplicity, that's, you know, the striped sunlight, clarity and stuff, that comes from pop music. And we used to do lots of Monkees covers, you know, in Robert's bedroom, and as well as Jonathan Richman and occasional Bob Dylan stuff, but lots of Monkees, and that was always simple and direct. So that's where, as far as I'm concerned, the pop side of things came from. I've always thought we were a pop band.
But before we played Remick, you know, and got up at, you know, like in Paddington at Bruner Hall in early, like 78, and we knew no one virtually in the city. You know, like we knew a few people at university. Both of us had lost complete contact with our school friends, and so we were sort of had a few uni friends and one or two other people. And then suddenly we played that show, you know, we got and played 2 songs, and suddenly we knew 100 people. You know, suddenly our friends the amount of people that we knew just exploded over about a week. You know,
It
it was like, and suddenly, you know, we had all these people that we knew, and we didn't know hardly anyone beforehand.
We were underground.
We were underground before the underground. Yeah. We actually played quite a lot here in the first 2 years, like you know, swimming pools, various colleges, parties, you know, houses,
Pineapple plantations,
and wherever, you know, people had to be. It was people had to be inventive, you know, like where you could play, and so again, you know, like with Brisbane, as to where the houses were, you could actually play in a house, you know, and bands, you know, still in Brisbane rehearse in houses, you know, so which is something you couldn't do in Melbourne as well, you know, or many other places of the world. You do it in San Francisco, you know, but then that's another era.
Well, just having seen, you know, Robert and his approach to things, I just thought that there's confidence there, you know, that it didn't matter what he was singing about. If it was a librarian, it was really confident and you really believed it. So I think I got that from the start. I mean, initially, of course, I was playing bass, so most of the things I was doing were kind of riffy things, and so like the logical thing to do was then, you know, put a melody to that riff sort of thing. So early on there were a couple of co-compositions, like the B-side of People Say was a bass riff of mine that Robert turned into a sort of Dylan pastiche, Don't Let Him Come Back.